The galaxy appeared peaceful, but a deep-seated fear had always lurked in the shadows. At the galactic core, a colossal space station floated beside a brilliant blue star. This was the home of the Galactic Council, the supreme authority in the cosmos. Here, leaders from hundreds of alien species decided the fate of the galaxy, matters of war, peace, and the future of every known civilization. The council chamber was as vast as a stadium, filled with a dizzying array of life forms. Some bore magnificent wings, others shimmered with iridescent scales, and a few were like living shadows. An air of calm deliberation held sway until a piercing alarm shattered the silence. A hologram flared to life in the center of the hall, displaying a small blue planet. Its name appeared in bold text: Earth. The room fell silent. Then a wave of whispers spread, confusion, concern, and even raw fear. The council leader, a tall, silver-skinned alien named Arvok, stepped forward. His voice trembled slightly. This should not be possible. Earth has reconnected to the network. The name Earth elicited a strange reaction. Many delegates recoiled as if the planet itself posed an imminent threat. Noticing their collective shock, Arvok declared, "We must confirm the truth. Historian Veth, access the ancient archives." Veth, a slender being with luminous eyes, unlocked a secret database that had been sealed for millennia. Data flooded his vision like a digital tempest. Ancient warnings, records of star systems laid to waste, empires reduced to dust, and then he found it. A forgotten file, a true name, Terra. The entire chamber froze. Gasps echoed through the hall. One delegate fainted from the shock. Arvok's voice was a low whisper, heavy with dread. The forbidden name. Long ago, Terra was not just a planet. It was a cosmic warning. The archives told a terrifying story. Whenever Terra rose, chaos was its shadow. Entire systems vanished. Dark, malevolent forces were utterly annihilated. No enemy had ever survived an encounter with the humans of Terra. They never surrendered. They never gave up. They always returned stronger. The Council had believed Terra was gone forever, lost in a forgotten war. Yet now, under the new designation Earth, it was active again. Humans had returned to the stars. Veth read aloud a chilling prophecy from the ancient files. If the children of Terra return to the stars, the galaxy will burn before their spirit breaks. Panic erupted. Some leaders shouted to attack Earth immediately, to crush it before it could regain its strength. Others argued for retreat to hide and pretend Earth never existed. Fear had driven them to chaos. Arvok raised a hand. Silence. His voice boomed like thunder. We will act with intelligence, not fear. We must learn if these humans know their history, if they remember what they truly are. A plan was swiftly devised. Capture a lone human traveler, study them, and above all prevent Earth from rediscovering its true identity. Far across the galaxy, a small human spacecraft navigated a glowing nebula. At the controls sat Commander Alex Ward, an explorer driven by courage and curiosity. He believed he was just a regular man from an emerging spacefaring nation, completely unaware that his species was the stuff of galactic nightmares. Alex smiled, gazing at the starfield. So many new worlds out there, he whispered. So many new friends. He had no idea he was already feared. His ship, the Horizon, entered a new system when a strange signal appeared on his screen. Unknown language, unknown origin. Alex hailed them. This is Commander Ward of Earth. We come in peace. The only reply was silence. Then, his scanners lit up with multiple fast-moving contacts. Alex gripped the controls. What is that? He tried to evade, but the objects swarmed him like predators. His ship shuddered violently. Lights flickered. A hologram materialized before him, its voice a cold, robotic monotone. Human detected. Terra species confirmed. Initiating containment protocol. Alex's heart pounded. Terra? He'd never heard that name. Who are you? He yelled. What do you want? The robotic voice offered only one cryptic response. Your planet must never remember. Before Alex could react, brilliant energy beams latched onto his ship. He fought to break free, but the force was overwhelming. The horizon was dragged into a massive alien carrier concealed within the nebula. The stars vanished. Darkness consumed everything. Back in the council chamber, an officer delivered the news. The human has been captured. Arvok stared at Earth's hologram, his eyes filled with fear despite his calm tone. Good. Keep him alive, study him, and make sure Earth stays asleep. If the humans learn who they truly are, we are already finished. Deep inside the alien carrier, Alex Ward's eyes fluttered open. He was in a glowing cell, his wrists bound by energy cuffs. His head ached. He looked around and muttered, "This is not a friendly welcome." He tested the force field and it sizzled against his skin. He winced but didn't back down. His eyes weren't filled with fear. They blazed with fire, an ancient, powerful spark. The guards watching him felt a chill. "He's already dangerous," one whispered. The other replied nervously, "Imagine if he remembers." The lights flickered. Staring into the gloom, Alex spoke one word. "Terra?" The moment he said it, the ship's systems glitched. Sirens blared. A warning flashed. Terran signal detected. Threat level. Red. Alex didn't understand. Yet. But the galaxy remembered his kind. And soon, Earth would remember too. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures from the cosmic frontier. See you next time. Commander Alex Ward stood inside a glowing prison cell, a cold metallic taste in the air. Smooth walls covered in strange glowing symbols surrounded him. The lights above flickered, almost as if they were afraid. He took a deep breath, forcing calm into his racing heart. Fear was a useless emotion here. Action was what he needed. Listening intently, he could hear the deep, powerful hum of engines. This was no ordinary ship. It was massive. A prison ship, a warship. Whatever it was, it belonged to aliens who already saw him as a threat. Outside the cell, two tall, stone-skinned aliens watched him, their armor bristling with sharp spikes. They spoke in a low, guttural language. "He doesn't look strong." The other replied, its voice a gravelly rumble. "That doesn't matter. Humans are dangerous when cornered." Alex feigned ignorance, but every word sparked a new question in his mind. What was this strange fear surrounding humans? What was Terra? And why had the council captured him? A robotic door hissed open, and an alien scientist with 4 glowing eyes entered. Her face was calm, but her steps were cautious, deliberate. "I am Dr. Kale." She studied him like a rare, unpredictable specimen. "Do not try anything foolish. Your species' history is full of violence." Alex's brow furrowed in confusion. "My species? We are explorers. We seek peace." Kale let out a soft, humorless laugh. "Yes, that is what your kind always says. Right before the war begins." Alex moved closer to the shimmering force field that separated them. "Then explain, what are you talking about? Why capture me?" Kyle turned to a screen, and a hologram flickered to life, showing ancient, epic battles. Giant starships exploding in silent space, alien worlds burning under relentless assault. "Tens of thousands of years ago," she began, "Terra ruled the stars. Humans fought monsters older than galaxies. You won. Every time. You did not stop until every enemy was ash." Alex shook his head, a knot of disbelief tightening in his stomach. "This is impossible. We are new to space. We've never had a past like that." Kyle's gaze was unflinching. "Exactly. You have forgotten. Your memory was erased, your history locked away. Terra was lost." "What happened to Terra?" Alex demanded. Kale hesitated for a moment. "A decision was made. If humans remembered their true nature, the galaxy would suffer again. So you were allowed to sleep on Earth. A peaceful prison. No space travel. No galactic knowledge." Alex's heart hammered against his ribs. His voice came out sharp as broken glass. "So you kept us weak on purpose?" Kale didn't deny it. "Yes, for everyone's safety, including your own." Alex fell silent, but his silence was more powerful than any shout. A fire ignited in his eyes, a promise of a storm to come. Kyle stepped back, suddenly uneasy. "Do not look at me like that. You cannot break out. That field stops even the strongest warrior." As if to test her words, Alex pressed his fingertips against the force field. A jolt of searing pain shot up his arm, but he held his hand there, his teeth clenched. The field flickered violently. The guards panicked. "He's weakening the barrier." "Impossible. That field can hold a black hole creature." Alex finally pulled his burned hand away and the field stabilized. A grim smile of victory touched his lips. He had learned something vital. He could fight the impossible. Kale was stunned. You shouldn't be able to do that." Alex looked at her, his voice calm, but filled with a new, unshakable resolve. "You don't know humans. We survive. No matter what. We learn. We grow. We rise." Fear flashed in Kale's 4 eyes. She turned and rushed for the door. Before it sealed shut, she whispered one last warning. "If Earth remembers who they are, the universe will bleed again." Silence returned. Alex sat on the cold floor, his mind reeling. A hidden rage, an ancient instinct, was waking inside him. Protector or conqueror, he needed answers. He would not die here. He would escape. He would return home. Suddenly, the ship's alarms blared to life. Red lights flashed. "Warning! External attack! Unknown hostile force!" The guards scrambled, and the hallway outside descended into chaos. Alex stood. "Maybe help is coming," he whispered. But then, a terrifying roar echoed through the ship, so powerful it seemed to twist the very metal of the walls. Something huge landed just outside his cell with a bone-jarring thud. Heavy footsteps approached. The force field sputtered and died. The door was ripped from its frame, not by technology, but by pure, brutal force. An alien monster stood there, its claws as long as swords, its skin as black as shadow, and its eyes glowing with a ravenous red light. This wasn't a soldier. This was a predator. It looked at Alex and smiled, a cruel, sharp-toothed grin. "Tara's child. You woke too early. Good. I will enjoy the hunt." Alex backed away, his fists raised. He didn't know how he could possibly win, but he would not die without a fight. Humans never give up. The monster moved with impossible speed, grabbing Alex by the throat and lifting him off the floor. Pain exploded through his body. The creature whispered in his ear, its breath foul, "You will scream, and the galaxy will remember why they fear you." As his vision blurred, Alex could almost hear Earth calling his name. A memory flashed in his mind. A forgotten battlefield. Human soldiers standing against impossible odds. A voice echoed in his head, ancient and powerful. "Rise, Terran. Rise again." For a single brilliant second, Alex's eyes glowed bright white. The monster's hand sizzled and burned. It screamed, dropping him. Alex landed on his feet in a perfect warrior's crouch. He stared at the beast, a new power surging through him. "You picked the wrong human." The ship's lights flickered violently. A hidden power, long dormant, had awakened. The galaxy was right to fear humans. Tara was not dead. Tara was rising. The ship shuddered violently, alarms screaming, a desperate piercing wail. Red emergency lights pulsed across the metallic corridors, painting a scene of chaos. I stood there, Commander Alex Ward, breathing heavily just outside the shattered remains of a holding cell. My eyes. They were still glowing with a faint white light, a strange energy that slowly receded. I didn't understand how it happened, but I knew one thing for certain. Something ancient, something buried deep inside me, had just been unlocked. Across from me, the monster with burning red eyes took another step. Its sharp claws screeched across the floor, a sound that grated on my very soul. This thing was furious. It had faced countless powerful foes, but it had never felt a searing pain quite like this, a pain that came from me, a single human. "You are not supposed to have power," it growled, its voice a low rumble. "Your kind forgot everything." Without conscious thought, my body shifted into a fighting stance. It was a movement my mind couldn't recall, but my body remembered. A memory deeper than bone. A training older than Earth itself. We forgot nothing, I said, my voice low and steady. Maybe we just needed a reason to remember. The monster roared and lunged. It moved like a phantom, its claws tearing at the walls and floor, each strike powerful enough to crush solid steel. I narrowly dodged, ducking under a sweeping arm. I spotted a fallen metal pipe, grabbed it, and swung with every ounce of strength I had. The pipe bent like it was made of soft plastic, but the impact sent the monster staggering back. I stared at the ruined pipe in my hands, shocked. How did I... There was no time to think. The monster charged again, grabbing me and hurling me across the corridor. I crashed into a wall, the metal groaning and denting under the impact. The pain was sharp, but I forced myself back to my feet. You are stubborn, the monster sneered. That is why your species nearly destroyed us once. I tried to focus, to push through the haze of pain and confusion. Who are you? Why are you attacking me? The creature's mouth curled into a smile, revealing rows of sharp teeth. We are called the Devourers. We feasted on planets long before Terra ever rose. When humans appeared, we tasted defeat for the very first time. A cold chill ran down my spine. So you want revenge? The monster nodded slowly. And I want to eat your heart first. But before it could attack, the hallway ceiling exploded downward. A squad of council soldiers descended on jetpacks, their green armor glowing, laser guns at the ready. Their leader shouted, "Target the beast, protect the human." The monster just laughed. Fools. It moved faster than their laser blasts. Soldiers screamed as claws tore through their armor. Some fell instantly. Others were dragged back into the monster's deadly embrace. Amid the chaos, I saw a dropped weapon. I snatched it. It looked alien, but my hands knew exactly what to do. I fired. A brilliant blue energy blast slammed into the monster. It roared, a genuine cry of pain this time. I charged forward, firing shot after shot. The monster, wounded, leaped away and vanished into the darkness of the lower decks. Silence fell, heavy and thick with the smell of blood. The soldier leader, a small lizard-like alien named Raltek, limped towards me, his armor smoking and damaged. We must move, Raltek said urgently. There are more Devourers on board. They are here because of you. I frowned. Me? Raltek nodded. If the Devourers learn that a human is awake, they will swarm this galaxy. They fear Terra, but they also want to destroy it. I didn't fully trust these soldiers, but they had saved me. I followed them through the wrecked corridor as sparks rained from the ceiling. Raltek spoke quickly. The Council wants to study you to keep Earth silent. I disagree. I looked at him sharply. Then why help me? Raltek hesitated, then answered with brutal honesty. Because I have seen the records. Humans weren't just warriors. You saved many worlds from the Devourers long ago. You were protectors. Protectors. A strange warmth spread through my chest at those words. Maybe that's what we were truly meant to be. We reached a control room and locked the doors. The screens inside showed a dying ship. Fires, casualties, monsters hunting in the shadows. Raltek pointed to a holographic map. We need to reach the escape hangar. I can get you back to Earth. I looked at the map, then at the chaos unfolding on the monitors. I'm not leaving until everyone here is safe. Raltek stared at me. You would die for aliens who fear you? Why? I clenched my fists. I don't fight because someone respects me. I fight because people are in danger. Another explosion rocked the ship. A vent above us crashed open, and a Devourer dropped down. It hissed, "Enough running." I tackled Raltek out of the way just as claws shredded his weapon. I grabbed a broken steel bar from the floor. Sparks danced along its length. My hands began to glow again, power surging like fire through my veins. I swung. The impact was like a thunderclap. The monster flew across the room, slamming into a wall. It roared in agony. The bar in my hand melted from the sheer energy. I stepped forward. No fear. No doubt. The monster scrambled back. its voice now shaky. "What are you?" I answered with the truth my body remembered long before my mind did. "I am human." It fled through a crack in the wall, terrified. Raltek looked at me, stunned. You're a weapon." I shook my head. "I'm a soldier. There's a difference." Just then, the alarms changed their tone. A new threat appeared on screen. A massive, dark ship approached, larger than a planet, the Devourer mothership. Raltek whispered, his voice breaking, "If that ship arrives, this whole sector will die." I looked out the viewport as the monstrous ship blotted out the stars. I felt that ancient fire burning inside me again. I knew what I had to do. Humans never surrender. I turned to Raltek. "We need to fight. Give me everything you have." For the first time, Raltek smiled. He saluted me, not as a soldier, but as a legendary commander. "Yes, Terran commander." I looked out at the galaxy. It was time to show them what a human really is. Terra was not silent anymore. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures. I'll see you in the next one. The dark mothership of the Devourers blotted out the entire view from the window. It wasn't just a ship. It looked like a dead planet, grotesquely wrapped in living, breathing flesh. Its surface pulsed slowly, rhythmically. Hundreds of glowing red eyes blinked open across its skin, staring down at the small council prison ship. It was a predator, hungry and waiting. Inside the control room, Commander Alex Ward fought to keep his focus. Beside him, Raltek's fingers flew across a console, but the screen just flashed a desperate red. "Shields are gone. Engines offline. We can't run." Raltek's voice trembled with fear. Alex clenched his fists. Running was never an option. Now fighting was the only way forward. "How many soldiers do we have left?" Alex asked, his voice steady. Raltek looked down. "Just a handful. The Devourers have already torn through most of the crew." Alex gave a grim nod. His heart was a steady drum, not a frantic flutter. "We save who we can." Just then, a deep, guttural voice echoed through the ship's speakers, a voice that seemed to crawl under your skin. It was the leader from the Devourer mothership, slow, dark and dripping with an ancient hunger. "Terra's child, I've waited thousands of years for this moment. You are awake now. You will burn again, just like your ancestors." Alex stepped right up to the speaker, his voice a low growl. "Come fight me yourself, or are you afraid of one human?" A chilling laugh rattled the very walls of the ship. "Soon," the voice promised, "I will feast on your soul." Raltek grabbed Alex's shoulder. "We have to get to the armory. We need weapons if we're going to make a stand." Alex nodded, and they took off, plunging into dark corridors thick with smoke and the acrid smell of burnt metal and blood. Sparks rained down from the ceiling, illuminating the bodies of their fallen comrades. Around a corner they found 3 surviving soldiers, their armor battered but their spirits unbroken. When they saw Alex, one whispered in awe, "That's the human." Raltek didn't waste a second. "He's your commander now. Follow his lead." They burst into the armory, walls lined with weapons from a dozen different alien races. Alex grabbed a heavy pulse rifle, but it felt strangely light in his hand, almost like a toy. He could feel his strength surging, growing by the second. A violent shudder rocked the ship. The mothership had latched on, its jaws locking onto its prey. Alex's voice cut through the chaos, calm and absolute. "We hold this point. We protect the survivors. No one else dies today." His words ignited a spark of courage in the soldiers. His presence gave them something more powerful than any weapon: hope. The armory door exploded inward. A tide of devourers swarmed in, a nightmare of sharp claws and glowing red eyes. Alex fired. Each shot was a pinpoint of deadly light striking the center of a monster's skull. The other soldiers followed his lead, firing at weak points. Alex was shouting out instinctively, "Eyes, throat, under the left rib." How did he know? It was as if his body remembered a war he'd never lived. A devourer lunged from the ceiling. Alex spun, smashing his fist into its face with a sickening crunch. The monster flew across the room, crashing into its brethren. Raltek stared, his mouth agape. "You fight like a legend." Alex didn't answer. He was in the zone, more alive than he'd ever been. Another explosion ripped through the wall behind them. A massive brute, twice Alex's size and built like a mountain of muscle, roared into the room. The shockwave alone knocked 2 soldiers off their feet. It charged. Alex ran right at it. They collided like 2 meteors. The brute seized Alex, throwing him effortlessly through a metal wall. Alex pushed himself out of the wreckage, wiped a smear of blood from his lip and smiled. "This feels familiar." The brute charged again. Alex dodged, leaping onto its back. He wrapped his arms around its thick neck and twisted. As the monster screamed, Alex's eyes began to glow with that same inner light. Power surged through him. With a final, terrifying roar of his own, he ripped the creature's spine clean out. Silence. Even the remaining devourers froze, staring at something that shouldn't be possible. A human who was simply unstoppable. The monsters turned and fled back into the corridors, their hunger replaced by pure terror. Raltek and the soldiers rushed to Alex's side. One asked in a quiet, awestruck voice, "Are all humans like you?" Alex looked down at his own trembling hands. "I don't know. Maybe they can be." But the deep, monstrous voice returned, crackling with fury. "You awakened the Terran fire, a grave mistake. I will crush this ship. Then, I will crush Earth." Alex yelled back, his voice raw with defiance. "You touch my planet, and I will end every last one of you." He turned to the survivors, his eyes burning with a new plan. "We're going to the bridge. We're taking control of the ship." They moved fast, but the ship was dying around them, groaning as the mothership tore it apart. On the bridge, they found the controls smashed to pieces. Raltek's face went pale. "We can't fly. We can't escape." Alex stared at the broken screens, then at the monstrous devourer ship filling the main view screen. A crazy, brilliant idea sparked in his mind. He pointed. "Then we'll take that ship instead." Raltek stared at him. "That's suicide." Alex grinned, a wild fire in his eyes. "Then it's a perfect human plan." Outside, the terrifying ship waited like a god of death. But beyond it, somewhere in the endless dark, was Earth. His people, unaware and unprepared. He would protect them, no matter the cost. He raised his weapon. "Let's show the galaxy what Terra can do." The soldiers let out a ragged cheer, hope reborn in their hearts. Terra had awakened. The prison ship was falling apart. Red warning lights flashed across every deck as fire spread through the corridors. The Devourer mothership had locked its claws into our hull, a beast refusing to let go. Any moment, we'd be torn open and spilled into the void. I, Commander Alex Ward, along with Raltek and our remaining soldiers, pushed deeper into the ship, racing toward a launch bay. Smoke burned our lungs. Sparks rained down from the ceiling. The entire structure shook with every move the monster ship made outside. Raltek ran beside me, his breathing heavy. "Taking the enemy mothership is madness," he gasped. I kept my eyes forward. Sometimes madness is the only strategy left. The soldiers behind us were terrified, but they kept running. They trusted me, following my lead like I was a beacon in the darkness. We burst into the launch bay. It was a massive hangar filled with broken ships and wrecked fighters, and it was swarming with devourers. The moment they saw me, they screamed in pure rage. They hate Terrans. They fear Terrans. I stepped forward, ready for another fight, but Raltek grabbed my arm and pointed. "There, the assault carrier. It has heavy armor. It can attach to the mothership and breach through." I nodded. "Perfect. Let's go earn it." The Devourers charged. We fought as one. Laser blasts lit up the bay as I moved through their ranks, dodging claws, aiming true, smashing anything that got too close. I took down 3 with a single powerful punch. One of our soldiers yelled with pride, "Humans are incredible." I fired another blast, shouting back, "All of us are incredible when we fight together." We carved a path to the assault carrier. The ramp lowered, and inside the controls glowed a soft blue. Raltek jumped into the pilot's seat while the rest of us secured the entrance. The engines roared to life. As we launched, The bay behind us finally collapsed into a ball of fire. We shot into space like a bullet. Raltek looked at me, his face grim. "Brace yourself. This is going to hurt." The small ship slammed into the Devourer mothership. The impact was deafening. Metal screamed and tore as we cracked through its outer shell. The walls around us looked like living flesh, and they ripped apart as we slid inside and came to a grinding halt. Then, silence. The ship's lights flickered and died. The air grew thick with a strange organic smell. The walls around us pulsed like living muscle. Raltek whispered, "We're inside a nightmare." The soldiers' weapons shook in their hands. This ship, it was alive. I stepped forward. "Stay close, no fear." We moved through dark corridors that seemed to breathe around us. Black veins on the walls pulsed with what looked like red blood. Strange whispers echoed in the gloom, as if the ship itself was speaking. Then, a voice boomed in our minds louder than before. "Welcome to my home, Terran," I answered without hesitation. "Show yourself." The voice laughed. "You will see me, right before you scream." A large gate hissed open ahead, revealing a vast chamber. Inside, hundreds of captured aliens from different races were trapped in cocoon-like prisons, some unconscious, others crying softly. The sight filled me with a cold fury. "We free them," I declared. Raltek nodded. "They deserve a chance." I tore the first cocoon open with my bare hands, a surge of strength flowing through me. The prisoner inside fell out, gasping for air. When they saw me, a human, saving them, hope returned to their eyes. One whispered in wonder, "Terra's warrior." I helped them to their feet. "We fight together." Soon the chamber was filled with survivors joining our small team, their spirits rising. But then, a loud thud shook the walls. A huge figure stepped into the chamber, the Devourer commander who had spoken to us. Massive, armored, and scarred from ancient wars, its eyes glowed like fire. "At last," it growled. "A second war with Terra begins." I moved to stand in front of everyone. No hesitation, no fear. "You fear us so much that you attack first. That tells me everything I need to know." The monster roared and slammed its claws on the floor, cracking it. The chamber pulsed like a giant heart, reacting to its master. I took one step forward. "You want Terra to stay silent. We will never be silent again." It launched at me like a missile. I blocked with my arm, sliding back but holding my ground. My hand burned like a small sun as I pushed back with a shout, energy flashing from me like lightning. The monster stumbled, surprised by my growing power. "Alex, use this!" Raltek yelled, throwing a heavy alien blade toward me. It vibrated with energy as I caught it mid-air. It felt like it was made for me. I faced the monster. "You wanted a war. Now fight a human." We clashed. Sparks filled the air as the blade cut deep. The monster roared in pain. I raised my voice for all to hear. "All units, fight for freedom." Soldiers and freed prisoners charged into battle as more Devourers swarmed in from connecting tunnels. A full-scale war had just begun, deep inside a living starship. I locked eyes with the monster. This was no longer just a rescue. This was the return of Terra, and the galaxy was about to remember why they once feared humans. The heavy blast door groaned open, revealing a dark, foreboding passage. A wave of cold air washed over us, thick with the strange, metallic tang of an approaching storm. The lights on the ship flickered again, casting long, dancing shadows. I took a tentative step forward, my boots echoing in the sudden silence. Behind me, the human soldiers followed, their weapons raised and ready. Our alien captive, the officer named Kursk, was trembling. His voice was a low, desperate hiss. "Earthlings should not enter this place. This room, it is not for humans." I turned to face him, my gaze hard. "You think we're weak. You think we're insignificant, and yet you're terrified of what's in this room. That means there's a truth in here, and we're going to find it." Kursk just stared back, his face a mask of a fear so profound it was almost absolute. He had no answer. The passage opened into a vast chamber, dominated by colossal, ancient statues. My breath caught in my throat. Each statue depicted a human face. Not alien, human. They were so lifelike it felt as if they could open their eyes at any moment. The soldiers murmured amongst themselves, their confusion and unease palpable. I moved towards a large stone tablet at the center of the room. Brushing away a thick layer of cosmic dust, I uncovered symbols that began to glow with an inner light. They shifted, twisting and reforming into English letters right before our eyes. The tablet was speaking to us. Earth is the origin, the first home of the eternal race. Protect them. Never let them remember their name. The soldiers froze. I could feel my own heart hammering against my ribs. The eternal race? I whispered, the words feeling alien on my tongue. Suddenly, the chamber lights flared, bathing everything in a deep crimson red. A deafening alarm blared through the ship. Kursk collapsed to his knees, shaking violently. No, 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 the system is awake. It knows humans are here. His voice cracked with sheer panic. Leave, you have to leave now. But I wouldn't move. A hologram materialized in the center of the chamber, a towering figure of light with a powerful, distinctly human silhouette. Its voice was a deep rumble that vibrated through the very floor beneath our feet. Human DNA detected. Priority Alpha protocol initiated. Why do the children walk among the animals? My soldiers aimed their rifles, but their hands were unsteady. I found my voice, projecting it across the chamber. We are not children. We are the defenders of Earth. The glowing figure turned its head, its featureless face seeming to study me. Earth's memory was sealed. You were hidden, to be protected. You must never awaken your true power. I stepped closer, my fear replaced by a burning need for answers. If we're so important, why is the entire galaxy trying to wipe us out? The hologram paused as if considering the question. Because they fear you. Your ancestors burned galaxies. You are the true rulers of the stars. The room fell into a stunning silence. The soldiers glanced at each other, their faces a mixture of shock and disbelief. Humanity, rulers of the stars. I clenched my fists, my knuckles white. We don't want to rule anyone. We just want to survive. The hologram's eyes, 2 points of brilliant white light, intensified. Survive? You were not made to survive. You were made to conquer. The galaxy kneels before your bloodline. Kursk let out a choked scream. Shut it down. For the love of all that is sane, shut it down before it remembers everything. My voice was steel. No. I want to know who we really are. The hologram's voice deepened, taking on a tone of ancient authority. You want the truth? Your real name is... Just then, the entire ship shuddered violently, as if something immense was stirring from a long slumber. Alarm shrieked in a chaotic symphony. Cracks spiderwebbed across the floor, and the eyes of the giant statues began to glow. The hologram finished its sentence with 3 words that shattered our reality. Lords of Destruction. My heart stopped. The soldiers gasped in horror. The galaxy didn't fear us because of our planet. They feared us for what we once were, what we could become again. Through the ship's viewports, thousands upon thousands of new alien battleships materialized from hyperspace, surrounding Earth, blocking every possible escape route. The invasion was no longer just beginning. It was fully unleashed. A cold dread crept over me as I whispered, "So this is only the beginning." Kursk looked at me, his eyes filled with a hopeless finality. There is no more time for talking. Humans must run, before the galaxy unites to end Earth, and your legacy, forever. We had discovered our true name, and now, the entire universe would do anything to bury it, and us, once and for all. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss what happens next. See you in the next one. Outside the alien mothership, Earth hung like a jewel, its cities glittering like a new galaxy on the planet's dark face. The invading fleet, a deadly ring of steel and fire, encircled the globe, millions of cannons aimed at our home. Inside, the floor trembled. Sirens shrieked, and red emergency lights splashed across the walls. "Aurora, what is happening?" General Ryder's voice crackled over the radio. "We're seeing thousands of new ships. We can't fight this." Aurora stood firm amidst the chaos, her voice unwavering. "We've found the truth, General. We aren't weak. We are something the entire galaxy fears." "So what do we do? Surrender?" Ryder asked, his hope fading. Aurora's gaze fell upon the ancient glowing statues that dominated the chamber. Her voice turned to ice. "No. We make them fear us again." Above them, a mysterious hologram, its eyes filled with ancient wisdom, spoke. "The power sleeps within your race. Do you command me to awaken it?" Aurora lifted her chin, her resolve absolute. "Yes. Unlock Earth's true strength." "No," a voice screamed. It was Kursk, one of the captured aliens. "If humans remember who they are, the galaxy will burn. Everyone will die." A calm fire ignited in Aurora's eyes. "If the galaxy wants us gone, then they will face what they created." As if hearing her command, the statues began to move. Stone cracked and gave way to gleaming metal armor growing from their bodies. Their eyes snapped open, flooding the room with brilliant white light. The entire mothership began to transform, shifting and groaning like a living beast awakening from a long slumber. "Aurora, they're firing! We have seconds!" General Ryder's desperate warning came too late. Aurora spoke a single powerful word. "Awaken." A silent, blinding pulse of pure energy erupted from the mothership, expanding in every direction. The alien fleet froze. Systems died. Every weapon went dark. In the skies above Earth, it was as if a second sun had just been born. Kursk collapsed, weeping. "It's happening. The Lords of Destruction have risen again." But Aurora stood tall, her fear gone. The hologram bowed to her. "We serve you. Command us." The soldiers around her stared in stunned silence. This wasn't a war anymore. It was a rebirth. Aurora's voice rang with newfound authority. "We are humans. We protect our home. We protect our future. Anyone who threatens Earth will fall." The ancient guardians lifted their massive weapons and the mothership's engines roared like thunder. Pointing toward the paralyzed fleet, Aurora gave her next command. "Destroy every enemy ship. Leave none." Panic flooded the alien comms channels. The humans, they remembered, "Run." But it was too late. Beams of pure white energy sliced through the darkness, vaporizing the enemy ships, turning them to dust in a cosmic storm. From Earth, General Ryder could only whisper, "Impossible. Humans did that." The last of the invaders scrambled, jumping to hyperspace, fleeing for their lives. In the profound silence that followed, Aurora closed her eyes. Earth was safe. For now, the hologram's voice was a soft whisper. "This is only the first step. The galaxy will unite against you. The war has only just begun." Aurora nodded, a grim determination on her face. "Good. Let them come. We are no longer afraid." The mothership's hangar doors opened, revealing its awesome power to the millions on Earth below. They no longer saw an invasion. They saw salvation. Aurora's final order echoed across the stars. "Prepare Earth for what is coming. The galaxy will learn our real name again." Her voice resonated with ancient power. "We are the Lords of Destruction." The very stars seemed to tremble. Humanity was awake, and the galaxy would never sleep peacefully again. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss what happens next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.